And once more, we're back. It is the Summit of Champions Winter Invitational. And I think we're at the halfway mark. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. We've got 3 more matches coming up. We've already had 3. So yeah, your maths is math in, Markus.
Thank you, Lou. And I mean, we can say this, I guess, about every encounter. But yeah, the quality that we've seen already from our players has been superb, and it is just going to continue from here on out. Of course, with Kinugawa and Alex both winning our first round 1 matches, and now they will go up against each other for a spot in the grand final.
Yeah, it's the type of tournament where every single match is almost one that I wish we could replay and kind of go frame by frame and really analyze, who had the best advantage in this turn and then who manipulated a position that gained momentum in the next turn. And I'm sure that's what we're going to continue to see from such veterans of the competition. But our next matches of our 2 undefeated trainers so far, both of them in our kind of winners side of the bracket, as it were. And one of them is going to, continue that undefeated reign and go into our grand finals. And one's going to have to drop down and face against Marco in order to stay in the tournament.
Yeah, we have seen both these players already, and we have seen their teams already. Of course, if you want to have a closer look again on their team sheets, maybe also while the games are going on, then hop over on our bracket on Limitless. The link will be in the Twitch chat, and there you can see all 4 teams of our players. Maybe if you want to try them out again after the tournament. But then also, just as a quick reminder, let's have a quick look again on Yuma, Kinugawa's team. It is this Iron Bundle and Thunderous combination that we have seen to good success in the first set, I would say, against Marco. Anything else jumping out to you there, Lou?
Well, for me, it was the Thunderous, as you kind of said, going for that Thunder Wave onto the Rillaboom of Marco that was just so detrimental to his position. Was a really nice play by Kinugawa. Again, the Landorus was in a phenomenal position, constantly supported by Incineroar and Rillaboom that just rotated into support with Fake Out time and time again. And I think that's something that you have to watch out for if you're Alex, because Alex, again, a trainer who's also well-versed in switching Incineroar and Rillabooms in and rotating them through, you're going to have to come up against an expert in Kinugawa's strategy here. And Iron Bundle, Markus, I want to see it. I really, really want to see it, and I do think it has some utility in this matchup.
Yeah, I agree. I think with Freeze Dry, if we have a look over on Alex's team, I mean, there are a couple of great targets for that move, right? I mean, we have the Dragonite for the 4 times super effective, of course, a little bit lowered by the multi-scalability, but then also you get to hit Rillaboom, which, does have that clear amulet, so no Assault Vest over on Rillaboom to kind of boost itself up against those freeze dries, and then, of course, also Urshifu Rapid Strike could be another great target.
Yeah, I think so. Like, you've got a lot of Pokemon you can hit for great damage with that Freeze Dry. Icy Wind, to be able to have a little bit of speed control, I think could be really beneficial. But Alex has a lot of phenomenal cards here as well. The Urshifu, as long as it can avoid taking that damage from the Iron Bundle we've mentioned, the fact that it's got that Choice Band, the Surging Strikes can hit really hard into, the Landorus, the Incineroar on the opposing side, as well as, just having that close combat to deal with Iron Bundle. Incineroar, there's just so many options it's got the utility to deal with. And I want to be able to see damage coming through on the board, whether it's also from the Golden Go with that Life Orb, being able to hit both opposing Pokemon with a devastating Make It Rain would be incredible to see. I really want to see full offense coming out in this match.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say it another the way. I am excited to see who of our players will make it to the grand finals. I don't know if both of them have played against each other before. I think that's also, one of the beautiful things that we get to do with these tournaments, just to see, how things will play out if we match them up against each other. But with that, I think we are ready. Let's see if our players are ready, and I think they are jumping into team preview right now, so that gives us a couple more seconds to dissect this matchup further if we want to.
Yeah, but I think as well, like you kind of said, these trainers don't necessarily get to battle against each other, but now they have the opportunity to do, and these are 4 trainers that you don't want on your team sheet, your, what's it called? When you get paired up, you don't want to see them on the pairing.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the match slip, that's it. And now these trainers, whoever comes victorious in this Winter Invitational is going to be kind of the next level up. One trainer that you definitely don't want to see because, they were able to beat this trainer and this trainer and this trainer. And these are the teams that they're opting to bring. And again, these teams, there's nothing too wild out there. A lot of these Pokemon we're very familiar with, particularly in this regulation, whether they're being brought back from previous kind of versions of the format or, there's a few tweaks here and there with a few moves, but there's a lot I think that people can learn from by looking at these teams.
Oh, for sure. And I think also quite a few unique Pokemon that only made it on one of our trainers' teams, like that Dragonite, like Iron Bundle or Thundurus. I think there's quite a bit to take away. I think one thing to take away could also be the fact that this combination of Urshifu, Incineroar, and Rillaboom is just very, very strong. Once again, both players will be using that. It is just, one of the strongest trios we've ever seen in competitive play. I think these matchups in particular, they usually tend to not revolve around this core. And instead, some of the other Pokemon, might come in to kind of steal the show just because of, how good Rillaboom matches up into Urshifu. And also Urshifu against Urshifu is a little bit awkward. I think we might see Pokemon like this Iron Bundle from Kinugawa shine in this matchup.
Well, we're jumping into the match, so let's kick it off. Urshifu, a piece, it looks like, for both Kinugawa and Alex, but we've got a Rillaboom sent out and a Thundurus. So Thundurus could be trying to get, that Thunder Wave down onto the Rillaboom once again.
Yeah, I mean, that has worked so well in the match against Marco. Why not just go for a similar plan this time around? Let's see if this time, once again, with all the fake out pressure that both of these teams can exert, it's, the first couple of turns are going to be really just crucial to seeing who can utilize that pressure best. Seems like Kinugawa already making a nice switch in there, bringing in Rillaboom to soak up this Fake Out and Surging Strikes combination. And we know from the team preview, but we also know from the first match that this Urshifu of Kinugawa actually has U-turn. So, wow, this Choice Band Surging Strikes does a ton of damage, but now with the U-turn, also Kinugawa is able to inflict quite a bit of damage to Rillaboom and reposition his board a bit.
Yeah, both trainers, getting sizable amounts of damage off there. The Rillaboom, yes, it was able to come in and eat up those attacks, but it still took a huge amount of damage for its troubles. It's definitely a lot more vulnerable now than when it came in. But critically, this pivot with the U-turn gets significant damage onto the Rillaboom, but now allows you the opportunity to maybe you could bring that Thundurus back in, you could bring in something like the Iron Bundle, but you have to contend with the fact that the Fake Out is now back on the field for Alex.
Fake Out is active now for Kinugawa.
Yeah,
he switched in the Rillaboom.
Too many Rillabooms, Markus. Too many Rillabooms.
Yeah, no worries. But I'm afraid. I think what Alex was able to accomplish with his Fake Out might just be a little bit stronger than what Kinugawa can do now, because Thundurus joins the field, and even though it could go for like a Wild Bolt Storm, for example, or just a Thunder Wave. I mean, just like a Protect from Alex's Urshifu and then a switching in Rillaboom into Incineroar, that would kind of like soak up all the attacks that Kinugawa can throw out here. So, I think this defensive play by Alex looks pretty appealing, as long as Incineroar is waiting in the back there for him. But maybe Kinugawa once more, as he's shown previously, will try to also make a read on a turn like this to get something going, because right now he doesn't really have a lot of offensive pressure on this field.
Well, one way to get offensive pressure, we love that Golden Go in play. The Fake Out from one Rillaboom went down into the opposing one there, so not going to be able to utilize too much damage coming out on the board for Alex's side. It was really about repositioning up that Golden Go, and now you get that little bit of residual recovery as well. That's one thing Grassy Terrain's been so dominant in, I think, throughout this entire Invitational, is not only boosting up those grass type attacks, but giving that Pokemon a little bit more longevity in the game.
Yeah, I think we might have seen a double Wild Bolt Stormus there, by the way. That is really unfortunate then for Kinugawa. Because, not hitting the Golden Go on the switch in, that would have been nice, and then also just dealing a little bit of chip damage to the Rillaboom definitely would have helped, but That is not great. And now with this Golden Go being revealed for Alex, I think, yeah, it's another Pokemon that has ways around Thundurus, which now goes for the Thunder Wave, but thanks to Godo's Gold, of course, cannot go after the Golden Go, instead hitting Rillaboom.
Yeah, back to the drawing board, I think, for this Thundurus. Goes for what it knows it can connect with that Thunder Wave here. Good as Gold. Golden Go is going to be able to go for that Make It Rain. It does get the knockout on that Rillaboom. It has finally been felled and does get a significant amount into that Thundurus. It can celebrate a little bit here, but obviously it has to still watch out for the fact that special attack is being dropped. Maybe if you're Alex, you want to find a way to pivot it out, reset that coming back into the match.
Yeah. And now we get to see Kinugawa's team. There are no more fake outers active for him. Rillaboom is knocked out. Incineroar was not brought to the battle, but we see that Iron Bundle that you were hoping for.
Yes.
Now, what is the best way to approach this Golden Go, since, yeah, still has Terra Flying as an option. But, yeah, going for a Wild Bolt Storm and Surging Strikes combo could be enough for the knockout on Golden Go, certainly. You would have to worry about this Rillaboom, though. But yeah, it's another one of those positions, these Rillabooms these days, without U-turn. Sometimes they're just stuck on the field, and you just don't want to switch them out. You just want them to go down. Yeah, let's see if Kinugawa will do Alex this favor and knock out Rillaboom. Or, yeah, if he will just let it be on the field, which I think might be the smart choice here in this positioning.
Yeah, I would leave the Rillaboom on the field because you want that Iron Bundle to come in nice and safe from the Golden Go. It doesn't want to have to take a Make It Rain, for example, so trying to find a way maybe to break through that Golden Go will allow Iron Bundle to shine a little bit more later on. And as you mentioned, Rillaboom isn't doing too much damage, particularly if you're going to throw a Terrestrialization out there on that Urshifu. It can drop its water typing. It doesn't have to worry about a potential priority Grassy Glide coming through either. This time, however, the Wild Bolt Storm does connect Markus. We're able to see that whole animation in its full glory, but not able to get any knockouts here. The Shadow Ball just chipping away. It's had a special attack dwindle by that Make It Rain. It is going to be affecting that Thundurus, that Golden Go's potential into that Thundurus, and the critical hits come through. This is what I wanted to see. Iron Bundle is going to be happier. Golden Go has gone down. I think this is a really great opportunity here for Kinugawa.
Yeah, going for that Wild Bolt Storm and going for that trade here, I think, makes a lot of sense there. But now, I guess the question would be, okay, as, yeah, the Rillaboom gets to move and gets to knock out Thundurus here, yeah, we're approaching the end game of this battle, and Kinugawa now has committed the Terra Steel. Though Alex kind of saw right through that, not going after Urshifu at all, and making use of that paralyzed Rillaboom even when at low HP, because, yeah, once again, Woodhammer is just so powerful when boosted up by the grassy terrain, and when there's no Incineroar around, like in this game for Kinugawa.
Yeah, you can't count it out, definitely, particularly as it's got the high horsepower still as well. That's something that can be threatening into that Urshifu now that it's got the steel typing. So there's definitely a few options Rillaboom has. It just has to find a way to continually break through that paralysis, and it is on limited HP at the moment, so the fact that it's going to be nice and slow with the paralysis is going to put it into a vulnerable spot. And now with the Iron Bundle being forced out into the field, Iron Bundle's kind of got a pick of choices here. It can go for either target and deal super effective damage.
Yeah, Freeze Dry is a great offensive move, and would certainly knock out Rillaboom here in this spot. But yeah, with this Terra Steel, Urshifu over on Kinugawa's side is weak now to close combat, of course, and also no longer resists the Surging Strikes. However, I guess at this point, Urshifu over on Alex's side with the Choice Band probably is content to just go for the close combat, since, yeah, that would hit both Urshifu and Iron Bundle for super effective damage. And yeah, I think Icy Wind is still in the picture, but then if you go for, let's say, Icy Wind and an attack into Urshifu, you don't have close combat, so it has to be Surging Strikes. We already know that will likely, yeah, not KO, but it seems like this read is paying off. Kinugawa expecting this Terra Ghost so that Urshifu can avoid being hit by super effective hits from the Freeze Dry. But no, Kinugawa has different plans. Let's see if this Icy Wind and Surging Strikes combination can knock out Urshifu.
Yeah, Iron Bundle doing me proud right now. Is able to take that Grassy Glide, gets the Icy Wind off, that enables the Urshifu next to it to guarantee that speed advantage into the opposing Urshifu. It's going not for... Oh, it doesn't get it. It doesn't get it, Markus. It goes for those Surging Strikes, does get all 3 critical hits, of course, but is not able to get the KO. And the close combat in retaliation, oh, that's so unfortunate for Kinugawa.
Yeah, absolutely brutal there. Had the right play, but I guess then at the end of the day, if Alex knew this calculation, then you can also always say, well, it's always a safe play for Alex. If he knows that he can take this Icy Wind plus Surging Strikes, then this is always the correct play for Alex. But yeah, had Surging Strikes just done a little bit more damage, or the Icy Wind, then this game could have completely flipped. But now we'll see Alex just swap out the Rillaboom to reset Grassy Terrain later for Grassy Glide, and then also bring in Flutter Mane. This just confirms that, yep, this is what Alex needs to close out this battle against the lone Iron Bundle, which will get the knockout on Urshifu here, but yeah, in this 2v1, yeah, will not have enough to knock out both Flutter Mane and Rillaboom.
Yeah, that's the thing. Rillaboom coming back in, as you've said, setting that terrain to enable the priority to come back to Grassy Glide. Of course, it is still paralyzed, so possibly isn't going to be able to get that attack off. And if you are the Iron Bundle, you have at least connected the Icy Wind onto the opposing Flutter Mane, so it is going to be a little bit slower, but I don't think, knowing the special defensive bulk potential that Flutter Mane can have, that it's going to drop to a freeze dry.
Okay, so you gotta, I mean, you can't protect this turn, but I guess you need a paralysis anyway. Okay, there it is. And now you need a freeze dry freeze on the Flutter Mane. Let's see if we can get it.
Freeze. Well, it doesn't do much damage, and no freeze. No freeze today. Moonblast will be able to KO the Iron Bundle in return, but I forgot about the freeze chance there for a moment, Markus. That could have been a very interesting endgame to this game 1, but Alex takes it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not something that comes up too often, and I guess also even with the freeze, there was still Grassy Terrain up, so Flutter Mane could have recovered some health over the next couple of turns. But I mean, yeah, never count out. If there's a way, then there is a way, I guess. And yeah, but it didn't turn out like that. Instead, Alex will take this first game. And yeah, Kinugawa maybe has to come up with a way to kind of adjust here. I think Incineroar maybe could have been a good Pokemon to bring into Alex's team. Yeah. But I guess, yeah, maybe with a clear Amulet on the Rillaboom and also just the Pokemon that he anticipated, just going for the Rillaboom. Yeah, but I guess we kind of saw how the lack of control kind of let him down then there later on in the game. But yeah, it also really showed how strong this Choice Band Urshifu is and how it can really kind of shut down certain board states. Because yeah, there's just not a lot that can switch in. I mean, we saw Rillaboom try it on that turn 1. It tried to switch in, but it was just too much damage for it to take.
But the switch in made a lot of sense, right? Like, how many times have we seen Rillaboom switch into a Surging Strikes and just eat up all of that damage? But when you have the Choice Band on it, then it's really not as safe as you're used to playing with. And I think Kinugawa really suffered, as you kind of said, from not having that control, maybe not having the Incineroar and Rillaboom being able to rotate through each other. And I think the issue is on Alex's side, there's just too much that the Fake Out is not really going to be working into, in the sense you've got the Golden Go, you have the potential Ghost Terrestrialization on the Urshifu, there's, as you mentioned, the Intimidate isn't going to be paying off against the Rillaboom because it's Clear Amulet. So there's a lot of different things that just make Incineroar not the number 1 pedestal Pokemon that it usually is in this particular matchup.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. And we're jumping into game 2 between Kinugawa and Alex. One of them will advance into the grand final, while the other has to fight their way through the lower bracket. And it is, yeah, back to 2013. We have the double genies. It is Landorus and Thundurus for Kinugawa.
Yeah, the genies are unleashed once again, and this is really, like you say, a throwback to be able to see what they're going to be able to get up to here. The Landorus being the more offensive of the two, can apply some good damage with something like a Sludge Bomb into that opposing Rillaboom. You can even go for a Sandsteel Storm and just get some damage across from both Pokemon. Thunderous really is going to be the key to whether you're going to start setting up some disruption with either a Thunder Wave here, for example, or you could just try and get damage off with Wild Ball Storm, but I think Thunder Waves would be my choice.
Yeah, I think at the same time, of course, you have to really worry that there is just a Fake Out and Surging Strikes coming out from Alex, and yeah, I wonder if Kinugawa is just saying, well, you know what, I'm fine just going for a read here. I just want to hope that I can get this right in this turn 1, but if I get it right, then I can take the game from there. Just a very, very risky approach there, I feel like, from Kinugawa, but let's see where the Fake Out and the Surging Strikes are going.
Well, the Fake Out went down into the Thunderous, so it's going to be unable to move in this turn. Looks like the Landorus as well.
Oh, that's going to be so close. Okay,
oh, it's so
it should live.
Urshifu the faster. Can it? Able to hang on 12 hit points remaining. So Landorus still in the game, is going to be able to get some damage off in this particular turn. But thanks to that... it does it. It does it. It gets the knockout onto that Rillaboom. A big one-hit KO there, Markus.
Yeah, absolutely big there. I mean, the Terra here really used for defensive purposes. Not needed, I guess, against this clear Amulet Rillaboom, but yeah, it helps to add some more damage modifier to the Sludge Bomb. And now, I guess, with one Fake Out of the picture, the question is, did Alex bring the second one? Because if he did, then it could be just an Incineroar switch in, and there it is. You go for Fake Out and more Surging Strikes. I mean, what can I tell you, Lou?
It's the same old story time and time again, but then if it is such a successful tail, then why would you not just run it back?
Yeah, I mean... but at the end of the day, I mean, it's Kinugawa has two answers waiting there in the back with Urshifu and the Iron Bundle. But yeah, it's just so risky because if you get this wrong, let's say this is if you swap out one and the Fake Out lands on the one Pokemon that you leave in battle, then it's just so bad for you. But yeah, Kinugawa has to make a read, I guess. Will try to get the paralysis on Urshifu later on, potentially. So, yes, saving Thunderous or predicting that Fake Out will go into Landorus, I think, is what you want to do here.
Yep, and the Thunderous is going to leave the field. We're going to be replaced by the Iron Bundle that can obviously, as you said, do some really good damage into the Urshifu with something like a Freeze Dry coming through, as well as having that utility to try and Encore the Incineroar into a potential Fake Out, and that would then just completely neutralize what the Incineroar is able to do. Both Genies actually have left the field. It's going to be a completely double swap for Kinugawa here, as the Fake Out does connect down into that Iron Bundle, leaving it a little vulnerable into the next turn. And if a Pokemon was ever destined with its typing to be able to take a Surging Strikes, it was going to be Iron Bundle. Yeah,
that was the one way for Kinugawa to kind of guarantee that he will make it through this turn without losing a Pokemon, just going for the double switch here. But yeah, Iron Bundle taking so much damage from this Choice Band Urshifu. I mean, yeah, Mystic Water, I guess Iron Bundle is fine about that. Focus Sash, well, no problem at all. But this Choice Band Urshifu from Alex really kind of shredding through this Iron Bundle here. Would only need one more hit. So now, once again, we're in a spot where, yeah, the Terra Ghost on Alex's side could be a good idea here. And also, I mean, Grass Glide might just threaten the KO on Iron Bundle. So, yeah, there could be... sorry, it's the Incineroar. It's the Incineroar. No Grassy Glide this time around. Of course, yeah, Rillaboom went down already. But still... Like, we saw in the previous game that Icy Wind and Surging Strikes won't be enough to knock out this Urshifu. So, yeah... There seems to be no reason not to go for that, but it seems like Alex has different plans. Maybe just going, one step further in this prediction game.
Well, the Freeze Dry is actually what comes through into that Urshifu. Not going to be seeing the Icy Wind in this particular set, and isn't able to get the knockout, of course. So the Surging Strikes will come through. I think the third one is just going to be able to get. Able to hang on. 2 hit point remaining on this Iron Bundle. So it's still going to be in the game unless Incineroar wants to try and follow it up with something. I like the defensive play on Incineroar's side. You know, going for that Grass Terrestrialization to stop any potential Surging Strikes KOing it. Instead, it's gone into that partner of the Urshifu. And to be honest, I really like this double up because even if the Freeze Dry had managed to take down the opposing Urshifu, then that would have redirected nicely into that Incineroar. And Incineroar has indeed doubled up into that Iron Bundle, so you now no longer have to contend with the potential Icy Wind or even the Freeze Dry. And this is actually nice for Incineroar. It has just turned into a Grass type. It's left itself vulnerable to those Ice type moves, so it was really nice it got the knockout on this turn.
Yeah, well, I wasn't familiar with Iron Bundle's game. I was saying that another Surging Strikes should be enough, but nope. In the end, with just 2 HP, it was able to make it through. I also like the Freeze Dry call there over Icy Wind because yeah, with the damage calls or the damage roll that we saw from the first game, yeah, Icy Wind plus Surging Strikes wasn't even enough if that Urshifu terrestrialized. So going for the Freeze Dry ensures that even if there is a Terra, you will get the knockout there. And then also it makes sense, I guess, for Alex to just go for the Terra on Incineroar just to ensure that Incineroar makes it through the turn, gets the KO on Iron Bundle, and now you can set up into this Incineroar and Flutter Mane board. Yeah, Urshifu over on Kinugawa's side has to watch out now, of course, for some yeah, Moonblasts that could be coming out, but yeah, this is a Thunder Wave Flutter Mane as well, so yeah, if it wanted, it could try and give some of Kinugawa's own medicine to him. However, I don't think the position right now really calls for that. So yeah, protecting Urshifu, I guess, is the name of the game now for Kinugawa, until you can find a point to go for the Thunder Wave, but instead, no protect whatsoever. Moonblast coming out, but Urshifu makes it through the turn.
Yep, is able to hang on despite the amount of damage that Moonblast was able to throw its way, and can retaliate into that Flutter Mane. This is, I believe, going to be able to get the knockout with that third hit into Flutter Mane, so we'll be able to fell that Pokemon on Alex's side. But I think you made a good point with the Flutter Mane, with that Moonblast that still had so much potential going down into that fighting type Urshifu, and it left itself so vulnerable. Terrestrialization has obviously already been used on the Landorus, so being able to remove that Flutter Mane now just puts Kinugawa in such a fantastic position to close out this game and even the set.
Yeah, I guess Kinugawa could be very kind of confident in this damage calculation. We already knew that with the Mystic Water on Urshifu, it's probably going to be a little bit more on the bulkier side. But yeah, taking this Moonblast and then getting the KO in return, that must feel so great for Urshifu. I mean, that's just really skewing up the damage or the type chart a little bit. But now still has to go through that Terra Grass Incineroar, going for the Thunder Wave and Protect just to ensure to get a little bit yeah, more odds there in his favor. And now we've seen it before, but this Urshifu actually can go for U-turn to hit this Incineroar now super effectively. A very unique interaction, but still, there's still a couple more hits you need to land, a couple more attacks you need to land, because yeah, you see how little damage Thundurus gets to do to this Incineroar. So let's see. Actually, it's the Surging Strikes, I guess. With a Mystic Water, yeah, you need to be really on top of your damage calculations to know that that does a little bit more than, I guess, the Intimidated U-turn. But let's see if Incin gets the KO on Urshifu. But it is paralyzed. Wow.
Oh, it's paralyzed. It's not going to be able to move in this turn. So now Kinugawa has a fantastic opportunity to just do the exact same thing again. Just double down into this opposing Incineroar, and the Surging Strikes were still stacking up. The Wild Bolt Storm, yes, it doesn't do a huge amount, but it still just chips away. I mean, it's doing no more than what one of the Surging Strikes did anyway. And the fact that you can bypass the Dark typing now thanks to the Terrestrialization and hit that Thunder Wave has just, I think, put him in such a phenomenal position to close out this game. It's just made things so detrimental to what this Incineroar normally wants to be able to do.
Yeah, Alex, I think a player known for taking his time, even when writing's on the wall, because he knows, well, there's gonna be a game 3, even if I lose this game now. And yeah, with the paralysis, I guess now there is really no way back for him into this. But Incineroar will get to maybe go for one more move, and I guess, well, Thundurus doesn't have the most accurate attacks, so yeah, if you can get the knockout on Urshifu this turn. But nope, knockoff, not enough for the knockout. And like that, we will be going into a game 3 now after Kinugawa gets this final knockout on Incineroar.
Yeah, exactly. We're going into a game 3, and this is one thing I always love to see, Marcus. It not only means you get more Pokemon action, but the intensity rises a little bit more as well, because it's literally one game between deciding in this particular match who's going to continue on undefeated, who's going to jump straight into that grand final, and who's going to have to drop down to face Marco in order to try and get into that final for a second time.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have written it better. It's the winner's final. It's 1-1. Game 3 between these two fantastic players. Kinugawa or Alex, only one of them, can make it into the grand final out of this set. Of course, the loser will then face Marco, who is already waiting in the lower bracket for them. Yeah, going into this game 3, I think we kind of saw that the Marco is kind of, Alex is kind of content just going for this Urshifu plus fake out game plan. It has worked well in the first game, and also in the second game, I feel like it looked quite good for him, at least in the opening turns. But then Kinugawa just found a way to, go about this. What do you think? Do you think Kinugawa should maybe switch things up and lean a little bit more into his own kind of fake out between the Incin and the Rillaboom, like we were talking about before the second game, or do you think Kinugawa kind of found the right approach now in this game too?
I think when we spoke about why Incineroar maybe didn't come to the match, is because it was neutralized in a lot of ways. And, opting to not bring it into game 2 and instead really kind of leading dominantly with the Genies and having, again, offensive powerhouses in the back on both the kind of physical and special side in a way was really nice to see on Kinugawa's side. Whereas Alex kind of suffered the same fate as what his opponent did in game 1, where he didn't have the Incineroar. So then game 2, Alex lost his Rillaboom in turn 1, and straight away he now no longer had that pivoting in Pokemon, and that was so detrimental. So I think both these trainers, if they're bringing those Pokemon, in a way have to prioritize them to support the partner Pokemon on the field, if that makes any sense.
No, it certainly does, and I think we're seeing a little bit of that here also. In the leads once more. Alex going for this choice band Urshifu plus Incineroar lead, and once more, Thundurus and Rillaboom just trying to take things slow, but we have seen that, Alex is not wanting to take things slow with his team. There's going to be a powerful Surging Strikes coming in, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we said at the very beginning of the set. We want to see damage coming out on the board, and Alex has the tools to utilize that. Choice Band Urshifu, we've seen how devastating those Surging Strikes can be in, not very effective hits. If we can try and get some more damage on the board, maybe remove those Thundurus from play even, then you're going to avoid that disruption. But Urshifu actually saying, Lou, Marcus, not right now, give me a minute. It pops into the back, and Dragonite, a really interesting adaptation, comes out front and center instead.
Wow, I mean, there was a chance to just go for the Surging Strikes, but it seems like Alex did not want to take Thunder Wave here, as with the Fake Out and Thunder Wave, with the Pokemon that Alex chose in the lead, there wasn't really any way for him to stop it. So instead, he's saying, okay, well, something has to take this paralysis. I don't want it to be my Urshifu. It's going to be the kind of the damage dealer of this team, of course. So instead, bringing in Dragonite seems like a great way to absorb the Thunder Wave, while also just pivoting into a Pokemon that has naturally a good typing to stare down Thundurus and Rillaboom. And maybe can just go for a Scale Shot the next turn. Maybe you're not going too fast, Dragonite, with that paralysis, even with some speed boosts. But there is no immunities or resistances over on Kinugawa's side against Dragon type attacks.
Yeah, that's true. The Scale Shot is going to be able to connect down as long as it's able to break through that paralysis. But you then have a Pokemon like, we know, the Iron Bundles in the back, that's going to be a big threat to the opposing Dragonite once it's able to get into play, particularly with the multi-scale broken. The Wild Bolt Storm has done significant damage to both the opposing sides. Incineroar just removing that item, but the item's kind of null and void in the safety goggles in this particular match. And here's the Scale Shot that you mentioned. It's able to break through, is going to be able to get all the hits needed in order to guarantee that knockout, and it's going to start counteracting the speed drop from the paralysis a little bit. I think it's going to need a couple more of those, though, to be monumental in the match.
That certainly helps, though. I mean, Dragonite, a Pokemon that has done so well in Regulation Set H, and now the Scale Shot set in particular is not really something we have seen too much in Regulation Set F the first time it was around. But Alex, one of the players that also has popularized it in Regulation Set H. I think, in fact, he brought 4 of the same 6 Pokemon to his top 8 performance in LAIC in Reg H like a year ago. But just keeping true to the Dragonite. But now with Iron Bundle over on Kinugawa's side, maybe not the best matchup for Dragonite right now.
Yeah, Dragonite definitely has to watch out from a potential freeze dry here, but at the same time, if that bundle is only going towards the Dragonite, then it leaves itself open to maybe a potential Flare Blitz coming through, just taking some unnecessary damage. Knockoff isn't going to be really relevant here, Booster Energy's gone, but even so, some damage down onto that opposing Iron Bundle can start setting up to be able to remove it from play a little bit later on, and Dragonite does have the capability to go for a Protect. So whether or not Dragonite's going to successfully be able to play defensively here is going to be up to Alex.
Yeah, and even the Terra Steel wouldn't really save Alex here, since, of course, with Earth Power on Landorus, there is a threat of being just pinned down in that slot, but let's see, it's not going to be the Dragonite going for the Terra, but instead Incineroar here with the Terra Grass. Trying to take Earth Power.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting, particularly if there's an Icy Wind coming through or something, but instead just to protect from the Iron Bundle, just looking at a little bit of what Alex is doing here and leaving the show for the Landorus. So I was going to say, but instead it's just like, I can do it too, we're a team, we're both just going for the Protect here. Dragonite, not too sure what it's doing, but it most likely was going to be a Scale Shot, I would anticipate, and the Incineroar, again, not able to do anything, but critically the double target was into the Landorus, so Alex there, I think, identifying, hey, this is the Pokemon that's the biggest threat right now, I need to remove it from the field. The Sludge Bomb would have definitely hurt that Incineroar if Kinugawa has made the call correct.
Yeah, I like the play from Kinugawa, because he's saying, well, both my Pokemon are faster, I threaten a lot of damage, like, you gotta do something about this, right? And this could either be, like, protecting, or this could be going for a Terrestrialization. And now that he has gone for this double protect, now he has information that, okay, well, Incineroar went for the Terra. Another option for Alex might have been to maybe protect the Dragonite, and this would have been even better than for Kinugawa, knowing that Protect was already committed the previous turn. But yeah, really like this play, and now it once again kind of forces Alex to make a risk, because, well, you cannot just go for Protect on this Dragonite, because then, well, there could be a double up into Incineroar. At the same time, though, if you attack with Dragonite, then you could just be targeted down by a Freeze Dry. So yeah, switching it into Flutter Mane is Alex saying, okay, I think you will go after my Incineroar. Now let's see if this is what Kinugawa decided to do.
Yeah, another challenger joins the match in the form of that Flutter Mane, and that's always a Pokemon you've got to contend with, but one Pokemon that Flutter Mane doesn't want to see is anything carrying Poison, and that's exactly what this Landorus can do now. It's also gone for that Poison Terra type, so it's not going to take too much damage from something like a Moonblast coming through. Dragonite finally does go for this Protect, wisely in the face of this Iron Bundle. So Iron Bundle not going to be able to get what I believe was the Freeze Dry off there. However, the Sludge Bomb that comes through does a huge amount of damage there.
Yeah, thanks to that extra boost, of course, from the Terra Poison as well, dealing a lot of damage to Flutter Mane, but somehow Alex has found a way to make it through that previous turn without losing a Pokemon. However, yeah, the question is at what cost? Well, he lost a lot of health on Flutter Mane and just used Protect on Dragonite, so going for a Freeze Dry into this Dragonite seems pretty safe for Kinugawa. And then also we know that Flutter Mane does not carry Protect, so yeah, once again, Kinugawa just threatening a double knockout potentially. This Dragonite has extreme speed, so that could be one way for Alex to just deal a little bit of damage before it goes down. But no, it seems like that was not the case.
Oh, it looks like there was a miss.
Yeah, maybe the Thunder Wave miss over from Alex's Flutter Mane, but Freeze Dry just gets the KO, and it's not into the Dragonite. Oh, and Dragonite... Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not sure how much damage the Sludge Bomb will do, but Dragonite, being the powerful dragon that it is, can take that hit, and with, well, there was one critical hit. It might need another one, and only gets the 4 hits. So, Iron Bundle lives to tell the tale.
It definitely does, and I mean, a lot went on in that turn. You know, Flutter Mane getting the miss, that was unfortunate, into, I think it was targeting down into the Landorus. maybe. I'm not too sure, but it's still, getting that miss is always unfortunate. You're trying to slow down these two very fast defensive Pokemon on the opposing side. Iron Bundle then able to get that big damage down, and now you're forcing Urshifu in, and Iron Bundle again still in a position where the Freeze Dry is going to be able to hurt into the opposing Urshifu. Dragonite on its very last legs here. I'm not too sure what else it can do.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure, well, maybe if we had seen just another Scale Shot hit, then Iron Bundle would have been in extreme speed KO range, because I think we have already seen that this Urshifu can take an Earth Power. And if that was the case, then yeah, let's say extreme speed knocks out Iron Bundle, and then Urshifu takes the Earth Power, fires back with Searching Strikes. That would be amazing for Alex. But yeah, it only got the 4 hits. Iron Bundle can take it. Oh, but the double up with the Aqua Jet. Nice play by Alex.
Yeah, just banking on that priority to get the job done, and that's exactly what happened. Iron Bundle goes down, as you said, wasn't able to get knocked out by the 5 hit, and the Earth Power is able to get the damage. That's a 1-hit knockout. Urshifu absolutely drops. Yeah,
that is huge for Kinugawa, who also, of course, could have used this Rillaboom to inflict that last bit of damage needed on Urshifu, but had Urshifu made it through the turn, then yeah, this gives Alex another chance to position around potentially with the Incineroar, and with Assault Vest, maybe Incineroar could take a Sludge Bomb, and then it could have been this deadly pin by Fake Out and Searching Strikes that Alex could have tried and set up, but now it's, I think, even more in Kinugawa's favor than the match already was, because well, Dragonite now, I guess, back to neutral speed after the second Scale Shot. But yeah, this Landorus just... yeah, Alex didn't really find a way to target down Landorus, and then the turn where Thunder Wave missed, I think, yeah, that definitely set him back quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure. And I think taking a look at the way this Landorus is just in such a dominating position, it does make things very difficult for Alex to get back into this game. Landorus once again free to use its Poison Terastallization to boost up the Sludge Bomb into the now Grass Incineroar. It is able to hang on though, and this is something we're seeing time and time again in this match. These Pokemon really trying to hang on to their undefeated record in this Winter Invitational. Incineroar is able to hang on, but now there's just probably single digits level of HP combined amongst these Pokemon that Kinugawa has to get through.
Yeah, you said it. Alex's Pokemon just making it through these turns with just a couple of HP left, but even though Alex now has the 3 Pokemon still remaining against Kinugawa's here, yeah, the fact that Landorus is still the fastest, yeah, just makes it very, very difficult, and should be a double knockout here for Kinugawa this turn. Yeah, I like the attempt there with the extreme speed, but yeah, Grass Glide to follow things up, and now the Sludge Bomb will knock out Incineroar.
Yeah, just a little bit detriment to the, the fact that the Incineroar went into that grass typing, left itself really, really vulnerable. But I mean, what an incredible match from these two trainers, and Kinugawa is now going to be our undefeated trainer, advancing into our grand finals. Markus, we have our very first finalist.
Yeah, congratulations to Kinugawa, coming out on top, not only against Alex, but also against Marco the round before, means that he is now waiting in the grand final. And yeah, he played so well, even though I think in that first game it looked like Alex with his strategy and team was ready to take down the reigning LAIC champion. But yeah, in the end, Kinugawa found a way back. I think the Thunder Wave giveth, Thunder Wave taketh away, something like that, where Flutter Mane over on Alex's side wasn't quite able to land that crucial Thunder Wave in the third game. Yeah, but Kinugawa played down to his outs, and I think really, really showing why a lot of players are calling this Landorus to be just one of the best Pokemon right now when facing down against those Balancey type of teams.
mean, there were a lot of different kind of facets we got to see in that particular match of his team. You know, seeing the double genies come out, I think it was in game 2 with Thunderous and Landorus side by side was always a really nice throwback, but also you could see the potential in it. There was a lot of offensive pressure coming through from Landorus. Thunderous was there to kind of tempt a potential fake out so it couldn't go for those Thunder Waves, but also the Wild Bolt Storms, even though they weren't doing a huge amount of damage, they were stacking up in little places, and you could see how well trained Alex's Pokemon were in the terms of their bulk balancing out with their brawn. They were able to hang on very well. So the Wild Bolt Storms were still chipping away. And then you've got Pokemon like the Iron Bundle that I really wanted to see, and I'm so glad I got to see it in this particular way. It was so fast, it was offensive, it also managed to hang on very critically, you know, thanks to, I guess it was Dragonite's fault more, but it still was able to hang on. And it's nice to be able to see all those different modes and different Pokemon being able to shine in this particular set.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't wait to see if this team from Kinugawa, can do it again in the Grand Finals. I mean, we already now know that the Grand Finals is going to be a rematch with Kinugawa.
Oh, true.
Going to face either Alex or Marco for a second time. Yeah, and then, of course, if Kinugawa wins this tournament, again, beating a balanced team, then how often are we going to see this Iron Bundle and the Thunderous running around? That's going to be amazing to see as well. But, we're not that far yet. Before then, we have a couple more rounds coming up. And next up, we will have the Losers Finals. Marco defeated Wolfie and made it into that finals. And then Alex is, now dropping down to the losers bracket after losing to Kinugawa.